What's up, gamers? We are back with some more modern action and another classic matchup for you here with Dimir Mill versus Tron. At least the classic Tron, if you will. The one, not like in the 100% classic in the sense that we're running Sylvan Scryings and things like that, but in the sense that, hey, we still are running like Karn, not the 7-mana Karn, sorry, but the toolbox version, as well as things like Ulamog and some big Eldrazi in here. The other side of things, we've got our Dimir Mill, so it should be exciting to see how things work out. The speed, the race, your whole goal is to try to mill out your opponent, get them to deck themselves out here. I'm, of course, NanMans, bringing you guys all of our action every Monday and Thursday for our gameplay stuff and our sprinkling of content on Saturday. We've got a little Riftbound video unboxing for you guys to watch this Saturday in case you're interested in that kind of stuff. And then a sprinkling of short-form content coming out related to Riftbound as well. Maybe at some point we'll do some gameplay for it. We're still learning the game, and I don't want to put up any gameplay stuff yet until I have a better understanding of the game and the concepts of how it... So that way we can at least talk through and go through some rule discussions and kind of get people to understand the game a little bit better. But here we've got things starting out, Surveil Land, Expedition Maps, second Tron piece, so it looks like we're setting up to find our third one here. Now, let me ask you, are you a matchy-matchy Tron player? Like, if you are having the Tron lands, are all of them matching? Are all of them different? Are they white border or extended art? Where are you at? Well, I'm personally all different, all alternate art for all my cards, which makes it hard, I guess, sometimes when players pick up my decks and are piloting them and playing them. But it's like there's just this little bit of like nuancy troll. So also like the art magic is so good every time. It's like I like to be able to look at all the different art every chance I get. I mean, my wall is covered in magic art. So, but Archive Trap with the search. I mean, it's 13 cards going to get milled there, and you see at least the Ulamog. You see, yeah, basically the classic package for the green. Oh, he says, do me a favor, please mill 13. 26 cards. Oof. Big hits. Oh, no. Do me a favor, do 13 more. Oh, my gosh. 39? Oh, no, that was the last card. Emrakul in response. Oh, shuffle all 39 of those cards away. At least we have a surgical to get rid of Emrakul. But that was 4 cards we used to get rid of 1 card. Oh, my gosh. That was going to be so good with all of those archive traps. Oh, that's like those moments that you chase if you're a mill player. Being able to do like a triple archive trap on somebody, and then you're just like, yes, this feels so good. But all of that was essentially negated there with the Emrakul. Not something that most Tron players are running anymore. Part of this we talk about all the time on the channel of, you know, tweaking your deck slightly to fit the meta of your shops and what's going on, or also like play those one-ofs, fun-ofs, the cards that you're like, I just like this card. I'm going to have my just one-of in here. Ugin's going to be cast here. This is Eye of the Storms. Visions of Beyond going to be responding. Let's draw a card, and then we, of course, will be fetching. Now, Visions would have gotten us 3 cards, but, you know, Emrakul put a stop to this. Now, this is going to be really tough. Already 7 loyalty. Basically, you're saying you have 3 turns to find an answer to Ugin. And if you cannot, guess I just win because I get to ultimate it. Dimir Mill, not known to have any aggressive creatures in it. It runs, you know, 8 creatures with 0 toughness. So it's going to be really tough. Yeah, it's going to be really, really tough. So is there any way that we're getting out of this position for game 1? I don't know. This is draw a card, gain some life. Oh, and an Ulamog to follow it up. So if there's... Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of anti-Planeswalker cards that exist. Most of them are not main board. Some might be sideboard here. We'll have to see. Now, we'll scoop it up. We're just saying, yeah, there's nothing we could do about it. So we're going to go right into the sideboard here, look for some tools that we can get, and confirming the Emrakul trigger is it triggered off going to the graveyard. And yeah, you see immediately grabbing 4 ley lines there. Also, there is the counter spells that we've got consigned memories. So there is this like nuance of like how much do we want to dilute our mill gameplay to make that happen. So that is one thing to kind of keep in mind here as we go into it. Of course, if you guys are liking the content, make sure you're subscribing, following along, hit those like buttons, share it with some friends if you want, post it up on a Discord, all that good stuff. Also leave comments. That's a great way to show that you care about it. There's a hype mode now, apparently. I still haven't messed around with that from the viewer perspective to understand what the hype mode is or how it works. So maybe somebody that is much smarter than me can explain this to me in the comments and explain what the heck is hype mode and how does it work. All right, mulligan's going to get resolved for the both players here, it looks like. Got rid of 2 cards, sticking with 5 for a mill player. Tron player also going to mill again. Tron player will be milling this game, but they're going to mulligan again here. So we're going to ship that hand back and try to look for something else good to go for here. So a lot of, that's the thing is, Tron is normally a very aggressive mulliganing deck because you need at least 2 lands. Most like hopefully 2 different Tron lands and a tower, and then you're set. We see a lot of options here with this hand. A lot of mana rocks, not 2 Tron lands though, but does give us a little bit of flexibility. Devourer of Destiny is not bad to keep an opening here because we could look at like basically pre-game stuff. We'll see if it keeps though, but it might be because we don't have our pitch land to make that into an ancient tomb or anything like that. So keep the we put an map at the bottom. I guess the fear of the triple archive trap was real there. Leyline of the Void pregame gonna happen. Hedron Crab to follow it up. So it looks like we didn't keep the Devourer here, but we did keep the map. Okay, sorry. I was like, that's wild. Why would you keep that? Maybe there was 2 maps in that hand. Crab number 2. Mill 6. Field of Ruin going to be here. And these are all exiled as well. All right. We do have 1 Tron piece here. Talisman. I guess we're just waiting on the map. That basically says, hey, we're going to take the first couple turns off. That's the thing about the Tron list. And maybe some fragility to it in the current meta of people that are running like Jeskai Blink and just like getting a Ragavan out early. If your shop's got a lot of like Zoo and stuff like that, where they're like, again, Ragavans, Kavus, things like that, where you're just like, well, here's a couple of my creatures. I'm gonna just start bringing the beats, and it is that race element. There is that like, how fast can I go to try to mess with you before you're able to set yourself up for success. And hey, Archive Trap. Let's get 13 exiled here. Can we get enough of the Tron land so Tron basically doesn't get to use? There's 2 towers. Also, same art we're noticing between the Tron pieces. The power plants are all the same. Mines are all the same. And towers are all the same. So this player going to be utilizing that in particular there. Oh, another mine gets drawn. Or another power plant, I'm sorry. Mine gets played, though. Talisman going to follow it up. Talisman of Unity. We've got the Dan Fraser art up here for your viewing pleasure because the art is so sweet. I think that's a different... They're not all Unities. I think that's Creativity. No, not Creativity. What's the blue-green one? I can't remember. Oh, Crab number 3. Trip crabs, but no third land here. We're relying on the power of the crabs, the ley line to help us out. Lots of mana starting to get generated for a Tron player, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So 7 is the scary number, right? That's the whole thing. 1 + 1 + 1 = 7, right? With the 3 different Tron lands, but Ugins, Devourer of Destiny, things like that. Dismember going to get used. Let's chuck 4 life, get rid of one of the crabs, get rid of course, the one with the higher toughness there. Maroon Crab has 3 toughness compared to Hedron Crab that only has 2, but at the end, it doesn't really matter. Let's see what we can do here. Not much cards left. Okay. Not going to imprint. Not pitching anything. Hey, there we go. Surveil, mill 6. Essentially exile 6. Pitching this. Drown the Lock is a sweet card. I've got it in my mill list. Both removal for creatures and counterspell available, but that is basically a dead draw here in this situation with what we've got. We would rather have a mill spell over a protection/removal spell. Chalice on 1 here basically shuts down crabs, but how much mana do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. I might have even have done it for 3. I mean, 3 is the big number for like your Tasha's Hideous Laughters, your Fractured Sanity, things like that are just like the big ones there. I mean, getting more crabs out, I guess you're worried about, but the 1 mana, I don't know. Oh, I mean, 1 mana visions as well. So what is that? 4, 8, 12 cards it hits with it compared to the 8 for that it costs 3. But we've seen 3 crabs, so yeah. I don't know, math. I guess 1's fine. Hey, Emrakul, exiled. Don't have to worry about that. Oh, so yeah, just drew into Ugin. It says now losing that 1 land that was so clutch. Now I can't get rid of this the way I want because, of course, the cast trigger lets us exile a colored permanent. And then whenever you cast a colorless spell, same kind of deal. All right, 1, 2. Michael Spawn. Are we kicking it? We should kick it. Now, the land that we're most worried about is, of course, that bounce land over there. We can't really legally target it, but yeah, we see the bounce in response, but getting rid of the black source can be relevant there, so we will be blowing that up. Hey, we got a land. No towers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have enough mana. Will we survive, though, to be able to play Ugin next turn? Mill 6. I don't think so, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, less than 6. Game 3, all tied up. Let's get into game number 3 here. Whew, the power of Leyline and Crabs getting there. Let's see how game number 3 goes. Any sideboard options? Nah, no sideboards for these players. They're just going to go shuffle up and get right into it here for game number 3.
We're interrupting our gameplay to let you know about our new affiliate with Nerd Gear. nerdgear.gg/nanman will take you directly to the website, and as you can see, they've got a bunch of awesome gaming accessories from playmats, life counters with the life tracks, playmat holders, and more. So make sure you do some browsing on the site, find some goodies, and then use the code NGNanman for 5% off your entire order. But let's get back to our gameplay.
All right, we keep talking about it, but the Nerd Gear does have their holiday sale going on, so you guys can be able to check out all that kind of good stuff over there. Got the holiday gift bundles, can save some extra bonus percentages off, or get the special bundles that are there. Right, they've got the sleeves and other kind of goodies, dice, play mats, anything that you might want to help accessorize for yourself or for others for the holiday. Consider checking it out and use our code to get some additional percentage off. But let's see, will we get some mulligans? Do we get a leyline here? All right, we're shipping it back. Oh, the looking at the top card, kicking ourselves over. Dang it, I should have kept it. That's why I never look at the top card. I don't feel like it helps become a better player because it makes you want to keep riskier hands as opposed to just like getting better at mulliganing. I don't know. I feel like, you know, identifying weaknesses with your hand is important. I mean, I have kept greedy hands before. I've definitely have been a victim of this, where it's like, oh, this is a one-lander, but I've got a fetch into a surveil land and the Serum Vision, so like it's essentially giving me 3 cards deep to look through as well as draw a card. So maybe I can get there, and the rest of my hand is 2 drops. So maybe it's enough for something like that. But like, you notice that like hesitation there. So I feel like our mill player is a little bit thrown off here in game number 3, making a few little minor mistakes because I'm assuming we're going to see a crab follow this up. But that's why you want to save that fetch land for after the crab is out. Yeah, there's the crab. Okay. So we see a land pass, normal stuff from our Tron player. Do they get natural Tron? All right. Crab, surveil land. Yeah, so that would have been 12 cards milled this turn. Is that going to be the difference? Are they going to survive by 6 cards? Oof. We'll see. We'll see. Those are those nuance moments that you also have to pay attention to, as a mill player, is like sequencing is crucial. Okay, 7 mana, Karn the Great Creator coming out. What toolboxy artifact are we going to grab from our sideboard here? Okay, we see Snaring Bridge, Liquid Metal Coating, Leveler. Oh, okay. Walking Ballista. Some Trinisphere, Graveyard Hate, we don't really care about. Pithing Needle, another. Oh, okay, all right. So a pretty decent stock list of old school Tron sideboard stuff. We actually are going to go for Liquid Metal Coating that we can cast. Now, here's the nuance things. Past turn, on upkeep, you tap down one of their lands here, so they don't get access to it. Crab, and then mill 9. Oof. Doesn't seem like it has any impact here, but just making sure that they can't activate that land is going to be important. But now this is where things get to be really scary, is because an untapped Karn, untapped Liquid Metal Coating, and this is what we talked about, is the weakness to certain decks like 8-Rack or Dimir Mill comes at the hands of some of these really powerful planeswalkers that exist. So we're going to do Liquid Metal Coating and uptick, turning this into an artifact, and then turning it into a creature, 0/0 creature, so it immediately dies. And wow, 10 mana, bam, Ulamog, let's get rid of your 2 lands. They're exiled, and then we can start attacking and making you exile 20 cards. And a 10/10, so that's a very quick clock here, and scooping it up. Woo! What a very fast-paced game we had here for game number 3. And to wrap up that match and wrap up that series for y'all, we get to see a little bit of the sideboard stuff from these players here. Other thing to make sure to note, if you sideboard in Liquid Metal Coating, make sure you set it back aside and put it right back in with the rest of your sideboard. But yeah, ley lines coming in makes sense. I don't know. I do think maybe the consigns... But you can't, it's also this like nuanced thing of you can't dilute too much. Normally you would bring in the consigns there over ley line, but seeing the Emrakul, you're like, no, I have to put ley lines, and you don't want to dilute your plan too much. But hope you guys enjoyed that one. That's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in and watching, y'all. We'll see you all next game.